Well, it's not the only piece of dodginess to come out of England in the recent times. The David Jones takeover offer, non-takeover offer, was a ripping yarn. Now, Liz, you've been all over this this week. And in fact, I understand you spoke to John Edgar.
I did.
The Newcastle-based person who supposedly was launching this offer and went away. Tell us about what he was like.
Yeah, I'm one of a few lucky people to have actually spoken to the Phantom. I spoke to him on Sunday night when he, through a press agent, contacted a few journalists to basically try and convince us that he was for real, that he had the bona fides and he was a real potential bidder. I don't think, unfortunately, we believed him.
We obviously hadn't, at that point, sold off his position.
No.
So he needed to keep the price up a bit longer.
Absolutely. To the extent that he may have had a position and been manipulating the market, clearly he needed us on side and the market to be believing that this was a genuine bid on Monday, because he spoke to us over the weekend, having seen the doubts raised in Saturday's papers. So if indeed this was a dirty, rotten scheme, it needed Monday to be continued for his benefit to work.
The big unresolved question here is what happens to the profits of these trades and the shares, and have the regulators frozen the proceeds? Have they frozen the settlements, or have they just let people collect the money, in which case it's too late? If there was some dirty, rotten scheme, then and the proceeds of the trades weren't frozen, they've got away with it, they've got the money, and it's gone.
They're in the Bahamas drinking mint juleps.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, we have to follow the money here. I mean, to me, it beggars belief. This seems like an incredibly crude stock ramping mechanism, if that's all it is. I mean, how can you get away with
actually,
that?
Actually, it started months ago. He's been sowing the seeds for this for months. He'd been to Macquarie Bank and asked them about being an advisor. He'd been to Chalkers in London.
Did he actually appoint them as an advisor?
No, he didn't. They asked for his, again, to see some evidence.
They wanted to see his driver's licence.
That's right. And even a sort of a deal-hungry...
100 points, please.
Macquarie banker decided that they wanted some evidence, and they didn't get any to their satisfaction, so they never heard from him again.
But the question is, I would have thought, left hanging, is did David Jones need to disclose the approach? Because that's what caused the share price to jump.
It didn't disclose the first approach in May. It completely, more or less, ignored it, although I do understand... Well, no. John Edgar told me in response to his first approach, David Jones asked for more money. Now, David Jones haven't exactly confirmed this, but he certainly also said David Jones asked for more proof of him as a driver's licence plus a bit, and didn't get that. So he made a second approach a while later. Now, a month later. When he did that, this strange, mysterious blogger came along with all the details. David Jones at this stage hadn't released either of the two offers, but when the stuff came out on a blog and the media started to get a sense of it and started to get a whiff of it, it then released.
But surely it should then also have suspended trading.
Absolutely. I think that's what its mistake was not in the releasing it. It had to release because the market knew about it. So it had to put something. It didn't put enough information out for us to get a proper sense.
Surely its mistake also was
cease trading.
It had like several weeks to assess this bid, and you know, didn't really do it. Like, it's not as if it had 24 hours to decide whether this was legit or not.
Well, it took the media, certainly with a bit of help from, you know, playing around with search engines and stuff like that, 24 hours to basically come away with the feeling this guy was just either crazy or manipulating the market, one or the other. So no one, except for, well, David Jones, no, they should have known, but then, you know, what do they do?